What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. Wednesday, get down. Oh my God. She just jumped up on the coffee table here in the War Room and literally almost took out the entire operation. Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. I'm Mistress Carrie. Thank you very much for joining me each and every Tuesday night at 8:30 right here live on my Facebook page. And then, of course, the rebroadcast on Facebook and the official Mistress Carrie YouTube channel. First thing I want to do is thank the sponsors this week, Latini Creative Solutions. You can find them at latinicreative.com, and they can help you with rebranding your existing business, helping to launch a new business, getting your message out there and have your image be unified. They helped with all of the new artwork, not only for the Mistress Carrie podcast, but also, ow, she just bit me. Cocktails in the War Room as well. So Wednesday, come over here. Let me turn the Pug Cam on. So I want to thank Latini Creative Solutions. And also this week, I want to thank Jumptown Skydiving. Now, you know that I have been skydiving for almost 22 years now. And if it's something that you have ever wanted to check off of your bucket list, then you want to go to the place where recreational and sports skydiving started in the United States. Back in May of 1959. Wednesday, get off the coffee table. 1959, four guys started recreational skydiving here in the United States, right in Orange, Massachusetts. And Jumptown is open for business now. So if you are looking to redirect your crappy 2020, looking to commemorate someone's birthday, an anniversary, a graduation of some kind, if you just want to check something off the bucket list, or if you're just hoping the second half of the year is going to be way better than the first, then do something you've always wanted to do. Take that money that you're not spending at the bar and go and jump out of a freaking airplane. Tandem skydives are available Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays every week. They do discounted tandems on Thursdays and Fridays, and they also give military and student discounts. And if you grab a group of 10 or more, you can get a discount as well. And they also have camera and videos and pictures. Wednesday, come here. And so that way you'll be able to photograph everything and document everything. Wednesday, come over here so that I can turn your camera on. I don't know why she wants to be over there when she needs to be over there. Come here. She got a new toy this week. We'll go over all of the stuff I got in the mailbox in mail call a little bit later on in the show. But this is her new toy right here, right? Come here. Come here. Let me turn the Pug Cam on so you can see everybody. Come here. There you go. Say hi to everybody. I'm sorry if I'm driving your dogs nuts with Wednesday's new toy. Happy birthday, Crystal. We'll go over birthdays later on in the show, but I want to say what's up to the War Room family. How is everybody doing? What's up, Linda? Hey, William. Hey, Monica, Amanda, Jamie. What's up, Brianna? Got a little Wednesday Pug Cam action for you guys. Yeah, she has Deadpool too. But she's kicking the shit out of Deadpool right now. And I brought in the fucking Stingray too. There you go. You want the Stingray? So I got to thank everybody that keeps tabs on Wednesday, not only on our Instagram handle, which is up on the screen, but also sending all of the gifts that she gets in the mail every week. And we'll go over all of that coming up. So, yeah, she is super hyper, Kathy. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Jay, what's going on? What a way to kick the bucket, if you know what I mean, Dave. No, it's if you want to check it off the bucket list. Go over there. Wednesday. Go over there. Otherwise, I'm going to turn your camera off. You begged me for screen time, and then I turned your camera on, and you don't want to be on it. Is this what it's like to be like a Hollywood mom? Trying to get your kid to stand on their mark and say their lines correctly? Come on, Wednesday. Get with the program. We got sponsors. We got shit to do. All right, there we go. We'll see how long it takes before she starts biting me. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. We got a ton of music news to go over today. We got mail call to do. We got to do the birthdays, the announcement about who's on the podcast this week. But I want to talk about last week's episode. Des Fafara from Devil Driver and Cold Chamber was our guest on the podcast last week. What did you guys think? Did you guys learn anything you didn't know? Were there favorite stories in there? Des and I talked about a lot of old stuff, a lot of old stories from the old Ozfest days, the old Coal Chamber days. We had a really good time recording that podcast, and it was so nice to catch up with him. Emily, it's a Moscow Mule. Copper Mugs mean Moscow Mules here in the War Room. Ow, Wednesday, that's my fucking finger. Glad you guys liked it. Thank you very much for all the love. Hold on, let me put the Pug Cam back on because Wednesday's still here before we get to our guest for the night. Wednesday is super hyper. And our guest in the War Room tonight Shannon says Dave Navarro. You thought that was interesting on this week's episode of the podcast. Looking into day trading now, says Jackie. Des was amazing. I was hardcore inspired by him, says Eric. Yeah, he's a pretty inspirational guy. We've been friends a long time. He's been through so much and come out the other side. Des is awesome, such a nice guy, and a grandfather. I know, Jeff, like so crazy. You and Des were like two old friends shooting the shit. Well, that's exactly what it was, Wendy. We are. Hashtag blue collar, says Paula. Yeah, he's trying to talk me into getting that tattoo, so we'll see. How was piloting the plane the other day? Chuck wants to know. If you were following my Instagram and Facebook, I got taken up in a friend's plane, and he let me fly it for a while, which was really cool. But landing in a plane is still very strange for me because I have way more takeoffs than landings because of the skydiving. Loved hearing Des, says Janine. Great interview. I've been trying to catch up on the podcast. My son has his damn baseball games. It's all right, Jillian. They're all there. So don't even worry about it. You can get caught up anytime you want. A new episode goes live at midnight tonight. We'll make that announcement coming up. But I'm glad that you guys loved last week's episode. Des and I had a lot of fun recording it. And so now let's get to our guest in the War Room tonight, who has been threatening to kidnap my dog for as long as I've had her. Let me see. Stiz, are you ready? Stiz.
What up?
Oh my God, you just blew out my eardrums. How are you?
I'm all right. What's up with you?
How are you doing? Welcome to the War Room.
Thank you for having me. Congratulations on all this stuff, man. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see all this stuff that you've been talking about come to fruition.
Well, you've come to the house a couple times and hung out. I hooked you up with a War Room t-shirt way back when they first came out. And
yes.
Wait, what are you drinking in the War Room, first of all? What is that? Don't let that slide. Are you being a basic bitch right now?
Dude, I was ragging on these things forever, but MC, they're not bad.
They're delicious.
They're delicious, and like especially in the summer,
yeah.
You know, because beers can be heavy, you know, and I try to stay away from the hard liquor, but I'm digging the Trulies. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
you might be the first person to basic bitch it in the War Room.
That's true. I know.
think you are. I can't think of anybody. Guys, go with it. Did I ever drink a White Claw or a Truly or anything in the War Room yet? I don't think I have. I think you're breaking the seal on the basic bitchiness.
I know. I forgot where I was coming. I probably should have came with like a bottle of Jack Daniels and just
Hell yeah. This is the goddamn War Room, Stiz. Have some self-respect.
Hey, shout out to the sponsors, Latini Inc. Can they make me more handsome? Is that possible? I know you said that they help out your image, and I was wondering if maybe they could do something about my face.
They can't probably help you with your face per se, but like the Mistress Carrie logo, you know, they might be able to make a Stiz Grimey version of it. Less cool, obviously.
Loving the logo, too.
You like it?
Oh, my God. Yeah, they killed that.
It looks just like me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If I had no eyes or nose.
Yeah, right. I think I said when you first sent it to me, like it's simple but loud. If that makes sense, right? Like it's simple, but it's very, it's like on point for sure. And then also, if your 2020 sucks, go jump out of a plane. What the hell are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Everyone is like you and wants to jump out of friggin' planes.
There's a lot of people commenting here in the War Room that are saying, I've always wanted to do that, or...
Yeah, I know. So Mistress Carrie tried to get me to jump off to bungee jump off the stratosphere.
It's not bungee jumping. It's a cable jump in Vegas. Because you and I, for anybody that doesn't know Stiz, you should by now, but he worked with us at WAF for years. And Stiz and I used to go on road trips to go broadcast from boxing matches in Vegas and LA. And we had a lot of good times.
Yeah, we did. For sure.
And when we spent all that time in Vegas, I was always trying to get you to do crazy shit. And I was trying to get you to jump off the stratosphere, and you were not having it.
Yeah, no. That was one of the ones I did back out of. But you did convince me to dress up in women's clothing in the middle of a gift shop in the MGM.
You look like Maynard James Keenan, and you got a cowboy hat and this red tube dress. Right. You dressed, we dressed each other, and you dressed me up as like wifey Vegas. White like trash. Yeah, with bedazzled stuff and giant sunglasses. It was just ridiculous.
Oh, that was hilarious.
But we had a good time.
I think it's a year anniversary because some of those pictures have been popping up on my Facebook.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
I know.
But yeah, I because I'm petrified of heights. So I really would like to jump out of a plane, but it sounds good. But I just feel like when I got up there and that door opened and it's go time.
You're going. You're not going to be the dog in the bathtub in the door. Like,
yeah, I would need someone to push me out.
Well, you would, because you'd have a tandem master strapped on your back that'd be like, bro, we're going like now.
Let me ask you this. Do you get that feeling, when you're going on a roller coaster and you don't get that stomach in your mouth feeling?
Nope, not at all.
So that, because I'm not the biggest fan of that.
It's windy. It's really windy. And did you ever see the Will Smith video about talking about going skydiving?
But I forget.
It's an amazing video where he talks about how you're afraid of something when you shouldn't be afraid of it. Because up until the time you're getting out of the plane, there's nothing to be afraid of. And that's when you feel the fear. And then when you get out of the plane, it's the most exhilarating thing in the world. And that's technically when you should be afraid because you're actually falling to the ground, but you're not afraid because it's amazing. And so he talks about, how God, puts fear in the way and how you overcome it or whatever. I'm not that religious of a person. I just look at it like conquering your rational brain. That if your rational brain is telling you this is a really stupid idea, you could die, whatever, and you do it anyway, you overcome your own fear and your rational brain. And when you do that, you feel so empowered, like you can do anything.
Yeah, I believe
that is exhilarating and it's liberating. And you just feel like you can conquer the world. And
it's really just that first step. Step out. It was the same thing I kept thinking with the stratosphere. It's just that step.
Just the step, man. Just take the step.
Man.
That's all it is.
Crazy. How fast do you go? Do you know off the top of your... And also, I had no idea that skydiving, number one, started way back there then in the 50s, and that it was right here in Orange, Mass. That's friggin' cool.
It's the first sport parachuting center in the United States back in May of 1959. That's awesome. Terminal velocity is 120 miles an hour. Okay. However, it's based on mass and wind resistance.
Yeah.
So the smaller you make yourself and the more slippery you make yourself, you can obviously go faster. So they have speed skydiving competitions where people get up to 300 miles an hour in free fall. But they're wearing like these latex gimp suits, you know what I mean? And and their body position is presenting the least amount of surface area. Trying to go faster. My top speed was 186 miles an hour, I think.
Ooh, that is so great.
Because we wear these audible altimeters that beep at certain altitudes to let you know what's going on. We have visual altimeters as well, but they also measure your wind speed. So when you get down, you can see what your top speed was at certain altitudes and stuff. So Amy says, I'm with Stiz. I feel like I'd have a panic attack when the door opens.
Seriously.
Kimberly says that last step is a doozy.
God bless you people.
Carrie says, I will leave jumping out of the planes for you. Nope, not for me. The plane I jumped out of was not that great, says Wendy. Yeah, see, planes crash all the time. So you're better off. And most accidents happen on takeoff and landing. So if you don't land in them, you're 50% safer. That's how I look at it. To quote Mike Shue, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a scientist, but
makes sense to me.
Yeah. Jillian says, damn, I'll be falling real fast. Fuck that. I've had enough adrenaline rushes from being in a war zone, but I do want to get my own motorcycle, says Brianna. Motorcycles are more dangerous than skydiving.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine.
I do both, and I can tell you the motorcycles are more dangerous. You can ask my nose. So,
you have a very nice motorcycle. Your motorcycle.
Oh, I thought you were going to compliment my new nose. I was going to say thanks. It cost a fortune.
No, you didn't.
After I had it reconstructed after my motorcycle accident.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I thought you were saying like right now you got like a nose job recently.
Oh, yeah.
Frig.
It's the first thing you do when your radio station goes off the air and you become unemployed. You go and spend thousands of dollars on plastic surgery.
That's what I did with my stimulus check. Thanks, Mr. Trump.
So how are you? What's going on? What have you been doing?
I'm all right. I'm still working with Hillman. Although my hours got cut, so I'm working every other week right now, which kind of sucks. But I feel like things are starting to take a turn for the better. Hey, and you know what? A lot of people give Baker and Marty Walsh shit, but I think they've done all right. We seem to be one of the best states in the country as far as like transmission rates and all that stuff. I was at a bar last night in Boston. Yeah, I know. But it was nice. It was just so nice to be.
I have not been in a bar yet. So you go in, you don't have to wear a mask, right? Because you're drinking.
You have to wear a mask anywhere, anytime you're not at your table sitting down.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you get up to go to the bathroom, if you
get up to go smoke outside or something.
Yeah. And I was on, I forget the name of it. It was a rooftop bar in the Seaport. Super nice. They got the tables, pretty well distanced.
Speaking of stimulus check, listen to Big Baller Stiz over there.
Yeah. No, it was, things have been closed forever, so. Yeah. To tuck away a couple bucks, but yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice after it's been 3 months, 4 months, like it's been a while,
dude. Well, what's the date today? Today's the 21st.
Yeah.
March, April, May, June, July. AAF went off the air 5 months ago tonight. Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
Yeah, 5 months ago tonight, we signed off the air. 5 fucking months. It's insane that it's been that long.
And it was basically the next month that Corona hit, right?
It was within a couple of weeks, because I went to Vegas, which was weird being there without you the week after we went off the air. And then when I came home, it was the first week of March, and things were a little strange, and people were talking about the coronavirus. But the first War Room episode was March 14th, and things were already getting weird.
Yeah, you were in Vegas hanging with friggin' Gavin Newsom. No biggie,
You mean Gavin Rossdale?
Yeah. Gavin Newsom. I think I got him mixed up with the California governor.
Yeah.
That's Newsom.
Distinct difference.
Yeah.
One of them
cuter.
Totally cuter. Yeah. I was going to say something else that was less appropriate, but yeah. One of them way more fuckable than the other.
Mm.
You're getting a lot of love on your white trash cocktail over there, Stiz.
What are you sipping on?
Moscow Mules. I don't have Fernandez's sangria, which a lot of people are saying you should have gone full Fernandez and had sangria, which is one of the official drinks of the War Room. But I see I got a cocktails in the War Room mug.
Wow, look at you, huh?
We're balling over here in the War Room, Stiz.
I know. Well, people support you, and that's awesome.
It's been amazing. Yeah. I mean, I know that you're still going into the building and you still see Hillman and Danielle. I was texting with Danielle the other day, and obviously Joe. And so you're still in Mark Hannon. So you're still seeing a lot of the people from work. But it is amazing when you go out, right? The way that people are talking about the radio station and all the love that you get from everybody, and how much people miss it and how much they loved the sign off, and just, every time I go anywhere or anytime I jump online or whatever, the outpouring of love and support has been amazing. And I wouldn't have gotten through the last 5 months without it.
Shout out Mike Shue. I actually just was reading a few days ago. Actually, I came across the article/interview that you did with All Access, and it was like 10 questions with Mistress Carrie and Mike Shue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I stumbled across that the other day and I read it, but
yeah, Mike Shue and I did a bunch of interviews in the first couple of weeks after we went off the air, and
I had him over for lunch a few weeks ago. I took him to Floramos.
Oh, hell yeah. I saw the picture actually of you guys
Yeah, that's
outside.
right. Yeah. I got to come back out to Leominster.
You know?
Yeah. I liked it out there.
You gotta leave this. You gotta leave Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea by the sea.
Yeah. City by the sea.
Full Fernandez says, Eric, don't go full Cheez-It. Amanda says, Amanda, did you guys see that there's a wine company that's releasing a box of wine that comes with a built-in box of Cheez-Its? And
oh my God, that's amazing.
Dude, isn't that the best thing ever? That you can buy a box of wine and a box of Cheez-Its in the same thing? Yeah. Hey, Carol, don't worry about it. She says, sorry, she's late. What's up, Lisa? Says, bag of dicks. I am going full Fernandez tonight, says Jillian. So she's having Fernandez's sangria, which is just delicious. So
I actually have a bag of dicks.
See, there you go.
Bag of dicks.
Eat a bag of dicks. Somebody says the steak tips at Floramos are amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't lose. Pretty much everything at Floramos is good. What's like the place to eat out there in your area?
Well, I mean, the place that I always talk about, and because Sully from Godsmack always talks about it, I apologize for being repetitive if anybody heard me say this story before, but when I first started on the air at AAF, I was working like hourly. Like I wasn't under contract. They didn't tell me that the job full-time was mine yet. And Godsmack was this huge local band, but they hadn't signed their record deal yet. They were kind of in negotiations for all that stuff. And Sully got on his motorcycle and came down and picked me up. And we went to this family-owned old school Italian place called Il Camino.
Oh, yes.
And we had, they make these homemade raviolis that are like this big. They make all the pasta. They make everything from scratch. It's delicious. And he and I sat there in the middle of the afternoon and he was talking about how he wasn't sure how he was going to make the next payment on his motorcycle because they hadn't signed the record deal and whether they were going to get signed or not. And I was talking about how I didn't know if the radio thing was going to work or whatever. And so we were eating like raviolis and meatballs. And so he calls them the magic meatballs because within like 2 weeks after we had that lunch, Godsmack signed their record deal and I signed my contract at WAF. And so that place is still there. And so anytime I have a chance to kind of spread the luck a little bit, I took Kaiser there. One of the guys that we used to work with, Kaiser, I took him out for magic meatballs.
Yeah, we actually did. I remember one time Hillman did a best house dressing.
They came in second, right?
They came in second place.
Their Italian dressing is delicious.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, did you see, speaking of Sully, first he killed the podcast intro.
You like it? War Drums, the theme song for the War Room, the theme song for the Mistress Carrie podcast.
Yeah, geez, not everyone can get their own theme song by Sully Erna. I mean, that's friggin' amazing.
You got to call in the favors when you can.
That's awesome. But I don't know if you saw, he did, so he's kind of doing his own podcast type sort of thingy.
Hometown Sessions. I was on it.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one, but I just caught Aaron Lewis.
Of course you did, because you're an Aaron Lewis stalker.
Oh my Lord, I love that man. But yeah, they had a really good conversation. It was really
Sully asked me to be on it months ago, and I went up there and we social distanced and took pictures with masks on, and because we filmed it at the house. So
yeah, he's doing it right in his studio, right?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time. We had fun. He's coming on the podcast. I just haven't been able to get him to commit as to what episode he's going to come on. But he promised me that he's going to come on. So, well,
it was so funny. He and Aaron were talking, about getting back on the road and, when are they going to tour? And Aaron goes like, yeah, he's like, I got some shows booked in August. So, and Sully was just like, yeah, we'll see about that, buddy.
Well, he's doing those outdoor venues. He's got one of those drive-in theater venues up in New Hampshire that he's doing next month, I believe, where you go in your car.
Ooh, Aaron's doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm there.
So, but I listened to a podcast the other day that had a security expert on that deals a lot with security for rock bands and music festivals and that kind of stuff. And the idea that shows with people in their automobiles is somehow safer. It presents a whole other security issue now because Never mind, are they just frisking you and going through looking for like cigarette lighters and stuff in your wallet? It's like now you got to be worried that somebody could put a bomb in a car.
Yeah.
And that's what the
crazy,
security people are worried about now. I mean, when Dimebag Darrell was killed, that really kind of changed a lot of people's perceptions about what was possible in a show and what kind of security breakdown there could be. And, then obviously the Bataclan, in Paris with the Eagles of Death Metal.
That's right. What band was that at the Bataclan?
The Eagles of Death Metal.
Eagles of Death Metal. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Did you see the story yesterday of the guy who ran up in a federal? He killed the son of a federal judge.
Oh yeah,
this lady knocked on the door. He was dressed up as a FedEx guy. The son answers
shot
the door.
Husband, killed the son.
Lordy.
Well, she had ties to one of the Epstein cases, so now all of those people are freaking out. But what a lot of people aren't focusing on is that he was that he was a lawyer that fought for like men's rights. And there is, and it, anytime that there is a mass shooting, which thankfully has not really happened as of late, but
coincidence that we're in lockdown.
Well, but there is a huge issue with incels. And there is a huge issue with that kind of subculture and mass shootings that comes up over and over again, that they are isolated men who
can't get laid.
They can't get laid. They blame women for that. They want to go out and purposefully seek out hurting women. It has happened in several of the school shootings. And these kinds of things have been going on, and it's something that no one in politics, and you don't really hear law enforcement talking about it, but in a lot of these mass shooting cases, it is a guy going after women.
So let me ask you that. So I've heard this brought up in discussion with these type of people, these incels. What do you think then maybe prostitution being legal? Right? So
I've always been, I'm a feminist. So I believe that if a woman wants to do that with her body, she can.
Yeah, because I wonder if that would help. If these guys could go pay a couple $100s and have sex once a month.
Well, they'll probably still be pissed that they got to pay for it. I mean, it's a mental thing that needs to be, I think a lot of it has to do with access to the internet, unlimited sources of pornography. And I'm not blaming porn, but what I'm saying is that if a guy grows up thinking that this is how women act, and they act that way to every other guy but me, and then the guy starts internalizing it all and getting pissed off because he's the only guy not getting laid, and he doesn't look like Gavin Rossdale or doesn't look like all of these other guys that don't seem to have any problems at all, they want to blame the women. Meanwhile, they don't bathe, they don't shave, they're living in their mom's fucking basement, and they wonder why they don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah. All right. Don't talk about me like that.
But I'm curious what kind of connection that subculture had with this guy that you're talking about.
Definitely seemed like a weirdo. He actually sued Jim Norton. He had went on Opie and Anthony because he was suing so that women should be drafted in the Army. I think that was one of his suits that he was trying to, and he went on like Opie and Anthony, and they kind of made fun of him, and he sued Jim Norton. I don't know if he won, but yeah, I mean, just certified weirdo. But yeah, it was just, I was reading that yesterday, and I was like, holy shit.
The story's crazy, and of course, everybody's affixing their tinfoil hat because there's an Epstein thing. I mean, it's just, this is like the perfect storm for conspiracy theories right now because everybody's locked in the house on the internet like,
yes,
what's going on? Plus, the world's so fucking weird right now, too.
Yeah, what do you think about Ghislaine Maxwell? Caught right here in our own backyards, right in New Hampshire she was.
Well, listen, if you go back and do some Googling, was it last year there were reports that she was sighted like up in the Marblehead area because someone saw a guy walking her dog.
Ooh.
And it was someone that had been known to have ties with her, and that she was supposedly someone spotted the dog and said that that's where she might be hiding out. I think it was last year. So, I mean, if she did what these women are accusing of, and if she goes to court and is found guilty in a court of law, I believe she is a perfect example for why the capital punishment should exist in some cases that are as open and shut as this one seems to be, with the number of victims and the number of documented, I just wonder, is she going to do something to save her soul? And is she going to out everybody? Because if I were Clinton and Trump and Prince Andrew and all those other motherfuckers, I'd be scared shitless.
Did you see Trump today? They actually asked him today about her, and he says, I wish her well. He's like, I wish her well.
She's a rapist, accused rapist, and you wish her well?
Yeah, it was wild. It was, hold on.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison.
Can you hear that?
People want to know if she's
yeah, but whose audio is it? Are you going to get me kicked off of YouTube?
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Knock that shit off, Stiz. Learn the rules.
I should know better.
God,
but yeah,
you can't bring this fucking guy anywhere. War Room, can you believe this crap? He's trying to get me in trouble. Joe says Humpty Dumpty was pushed. We're going deep down into the conspiracy theory rabbit hole now.
I knew he was. I've been saying it all along. God damn it.
So what have you been doing to keep yourself occupied? What's up with your new music and your podcast and stuff? Get all the plugs out of the way. What do you got going on?
Thank you. Yeah, I do a podcast with my buddy. It's called Stuck on Stuff. I just do that because I think, like yourself, we're just creative people and we just like to, create content and put it out. So I do a podcast, Stuck on Stuff. I haven't created new music in a little while, and it kind of sucks because I really do miss it. But I play a lot of music. I just haven't been writing a lot of music.
Have you been playing your guitar still? Are you playing?
I play the guitar every day.
Good.
And now, it's super calming. Like, I find that instruments are super, super calming. And I really think it's like brain food too. Like, I'm trying to learn how to play the piano now. And it's just, it's just super calming. So yeah, just playing a lot of guitar, a lot of piano, watching a lot of TV. I'm cutting cable this week. I'm cutting it. Getting rid of it.
Are you really? What are you going to replace it with? What are you getting?
Internet. So I'm just going to get internet for now.
No, but I mean, what services are you getting for video content? Are you doing Netflix? Are you doing Disney Plus? Are you doing Hulu? Like, what are you using?
I have Netflix. But I might end up going with YouTube TV because it gives you like 80 channels or something like that. And it's like $65 a month. But I'm paying $200 a month for Xfinity. And I've been paying that for like, I don't know,
1,000 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm so done with giving these people $200 a month. So I'm just going to cut the cord and just see how it goes.
Joshua says, damn, I thought I couldn't grow a beard. And then I see Stiz. Josh, that's amazing. You can do it. I know. I saw your beard when I got you signed on tonight, and I'm like, what is he doing with his face? What are you doing?
I had to do something different, man. Well, actually, that's how that happened because of quarantine, in lockdown. Yeah. I didn't shave for like a month. And then I just went into the barbershop, and I have like a relationship with my barber where I don't even say what I want. He just kind of does what he wants. I've been going on for like 20 years. And he just kind of like kept the beard. And I was like, you know what? I like this. I'm going to try this out for a little while.
There's a lot of people saying YouTube TV is awesome. So you're getting some good reviews here in the War Room. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Daniel says prices are going up on YouTube TV.
Yeah, I went up to 5 from 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, honestly, with a simple internet connection, there's really nothing that you can't find. I can find any show or movie on the internet. It's just really the convenience of Xfinity. Yeah. It's just convenient.
Keith says, I like Disney and Hulu and Amazon. They are streaming. They are all amazing. So there you go.
Yeah. But you got to be careful with that too, because if you have Disney and YouTube TV and Netflix and Hulu, like you're almost up to paying what you were paying for cable anyway, right? So it's like you kind of got to try to. So we're going to see, but I'm just done with Xfinity, man. It's just,
Jillian says, cut the cord. Good plug for Shinedown. So there you go. And my Auntie Ange that helped pack up all the T-shirts says she likes your beard.
Oh, thank you, Auntie Ange. I appreciate it. Is she single?
No, not really. And she's family for me. So that would get really awkward really fast.
What do you mean?
I'm not calling you uncle.
Officially.
Listen.
Oh my God, imagine.
My Auntie Ange, first of all, she's my godmother. And second of all, she would tie your dick in a knot, Stiz. I don't think you could handle it.
Whoa.
You just heard. Yeah, that just happened. Like a square knot. Like
just happened.
It would be like a sailor. Like there would be like 37 different knots. Yeah. You'd limp away like a newborn giraffe on ice.
Oh, that's great.
And that shit runs in the family, by the way.
Hey, yo. Have you been on a boat, speaking of?
On a
boat, yeah.
No, I went to the beach a few weeks ago.
What beach did you go to?
I went down in East Falmouth.
Oh, you went to the Cape.
Yeah, just for the day. I went and socially distanced with our old boss, Ron, and one of my mentors for a really long time, Mark Raz, who used to work at AAF back in the early 90s. I used to intern for him. And I went down and just hung out on the beach so that we could just all talk, but be outside and kind of, because they're being super careful about the coronavirus. And I wanted to be respectful of that. So
how was the Cape in general? Was it packed? Was it?
No, it wasn't that bad. We went to just this little kind of, out of the way beach and just kind of hung out. It was super mellow, but this was a few weeks ago. And part of the reason I went was because I had really bad poison ivy, and everybody here in the war room told me to go put my legs in the salt water and that would help the poison ivy. And it totally did.
Did it really?
Yeah. They give good advice here in the war room. I'm telling you.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Oh. What else?
So that was it, really. I got mail call to do. We got to announce the latest episode of the podcast. Last week, Des from Devil Driver was on. Did you hear the Daryl McDaniels episode?
Great job.
Did you like it?
Yes, I like that. You know which one I really liked? I apologize because I forget his name, but the soldier from the movie that's about to come out about him.
It's out right now. It's called the movie's called The Outpost. You can get it on demand. But that's my friend John Hill. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thank you. I'm really proud of that episode for anybody that hasn't heard it yet. And then he joined us in the war room the next week with his girlfriend, Johnny, and hung out with us for like an hour. And that interview is up as an after action report. So you can go and either watch the video on YouTube or go back on Facebook. Or if you just want to listen to the interview, it's up as a podcast episode, which is where you'll be tomorrow.
Yay!
You'll be an after action report tomorrow.
Hey, really quick, did you hear about the story with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett? Did you catch any of that tea?
The entanglement?
The entanglement? Oh, how great was that?
Dude, can you imagine being Will Smith and having to sit there in front of everybody? Now, here's the thing. There was a time when Jada was in a band called Wicked Wisdom. She was in a heavy metal band.
Get the fuck out of here.
And she played on, was it the Ozfest? She came in with her band on my show.
Holy shit.
It was an all African-American metal band called Wicked Wisdom, and she was the lead singer. And she came up on my show, and then we went, I believe they were on an Ozfest year. And rumor had it around that her and Will kind of had an understanding.
Oh, yeah. And that's kind of been the rumor forever that they have this thing, but for this kid to go out there and just spill the beans like that.
Well, that's probably the only person either one of them has ever been entangled with that didn't sign a non-disclosure.
Yeah, right. Jesus Christ.
You gotta get the bitches to sign the non-disclosures. These are life lessons. Write that down.
I got nothing to take. What are they going to take? My Jason mask? Good luck. She better get me to sign the prenup.
I felt so bad watching that footage, and you could just watch Will Smith's soul just slowly dying.
Lord. Yeah.
And it was like, because this all happened years ago, right? So now it's like they've gone through it all. They built a bridge, got over it, probably went to marriage counseling, whatever. Then the world finds out, and he's like, now you got to bring up old shit.
When this kid has an album coming out, go figure.
Yeah, or like Kanye's album that's coming out next week, Mr.
He's another one. I'm so fucking sick of this guy. And, maybe you can say he's maybe he has some mental issues and maybe he really does need help. But I'm just sick of him. I'm sick of this idea of these fucking celebrities that want to be president.
Wendy says, oh my God, Stiz is a little gossip queen, isn't he? Well, he is drinking Trulies.
I am.
He's gone full on basic bitch right now.
I have the tea.
Heidi wants to know when Danielle's coming on. We were texting about it the other day. Actually, we're working on getting it. Her and I believe, are going to have a pajama party because she has to get up so early. So we're gonna have a slumber party in the War Room one night. I just don't know what night it's gonna be. So just stay tuned for that. But it's definitely happening.
To be a fly on the wall.
Well, you can watch it. You can watch it on Facebook, or you can watch it on YouTube afterwards.
That sounds like something people might pay for to watch that video. That's gonna be like an OnlyFans type of thing.
Yeah, we'll have a pillow fight and play light as a feather, stiff as a board, and like brush each other's hair.
That's great though that we all still talk and you still
Well, that was the thing, is that I think a lot of people thought that we all just did it for the radio, but
yeah,
AAF we didn't. It was just, we were a family in that way. And I talked to Shu the other day. It's like we're all still in contact with each other.
Yeah.
Scott says the way 2020 is going, Kanye will get elected.
Yeah, no shit. You ain't kidding, bro.
Donna says basic bitch Stiz. Let's see. Tracy says Kanye needs help. Eric says pillow fights. Josh said Kanye said Harriet Tubman didn't help the slaves escape slavery. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, it just
fucking nuts. He's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
and then he started crying about abortion. But
dude, can you imagine being Kris Jenner or Kim Kardashian at home, and Kanye says that they were going to abort their first baby? Like, how quickly did they scramble the F-15s in Calabasas?
Yes, right.
They were like, missiles! Turn on the missiles!
They probably have like a button for when he fucking steps out of line and they gotta fucking get the cleanup crew on it.
Andy said that movie Get Out was written about him. Did you see that?
No.
Yes.
No, I didn't see that.
He tweeted that later that night. He said that movie Get Out was about him.
Oh, he's fucking nuts.
It's crazy. Allegedly, Stiz. Allegedly. You got to watch the libel and slander. He's allegedly nuts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with suggestions about me and Danielle. They're saying pillow fights, Jello wrestling, bottoms only pajama party.
Oh. This is getting interesting now.
Oh my God. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so glad that we got to do this.
Yes, likewise. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. You're welcome anytime. I want you to come in and hang out in the War Room live.
Yeah, I got to come up there for sure.
You can have a bag of dicks live like Mike Shue did.
Yeah. Oh, he was on the War Room, right?
He did the first one with the new format. He did number 81, which was the last nightly show.
Jeez, 81.
We did 81 shows in a row, and then now it's a weekly show that's on every Tuesday night.
That's dope. That's dope. So what's up with the podcast? What's coming next?
Well, I have to make that announcement, but I got stuff built for it. So I got to do it when we're done. To announce who's going to be on the podcast this week, and I've got some great episodes lined up with some awesome guests. I'm trying to do a little bit of everything. I mean, obviously I want to talk to all the bands. I'm working on some ideas that are going to, if you subscribe to the podcast, which I've been telling everybody to do, if you just go and listen to the episodes every week when I post the links, then you're only getting the episodes that you see online, but there's bonus stuff like the after action reports with people in the War Room. But then there's going to be some other features that are coming out that are going to expose you to some new artists you may not have never heard of before. And yeah, Michael says 81 shows with a cell phone video. Yeah, exactly. Now I got this whole fancy production in here.
And mic flags.
Mic flags. Come on, man.
Killing it, dude.
But there's going to be a lot of awesome bonus episodes and a lot of other great stuff that's coming. So you got to subscribe. We got on Pandora last week, which was like the last big podcast outlet so things are going really well and there's a lot of great episodes coming up. So I'm really excited about how things are going, and I'm super just grateful that everybody has been loving the episodes as much as they have. So I'm really excited about how things are going.
I remember the day that I got the email from Pandora saying that they accepted my music and would put it on Pandora. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
It is.
And the podcast is spreading, and It's all over the world now, and it's just it's really, really cool. And now bands are starting, like Mark LaBelle from Dirty Honey was in the War Room with us last week, and so it's just
Saw that.
yeah, it's really cool that
Down
people are
something.
starting to want to get on the War Room, and they want to get on the podcast, and it's been really cool.
How did you hook up with him? Like, was he out here for something?
No, he came in like you are.
Oh, it was Skype.
Yeah, he came in like you are, which has been awesome because, nobody's traveling, nobody's touring. So to be able to bring people into the War Room, and I asked the War Room family, I was like, do you guys like it when we have guests on? And everybody was like, fuck yeah, bring in people. So it's cool that everybody is, so that the War Room has really kind of become this family. Danielle is commenting. She said 75 countries. Danielle, I have a correction for you coming up.
That Danielle?
No. Just it's another Danielle that's here in the War Room. But Amanda says you are on in Mongolia. There's people in Mongolia that listen to the podcast.
Wow.
Last week we had 76 countries. I'll let you know what's going on with the podcast now. So I'll run through all of that when we get done. I got a lot of headlines and a lot of other stuff I got to run through. So
what have you been bumping for music? What are you listening to
There's
lately?
all kind. Oh, dude, did you hear the Chris Cornell cover?
By who?
Stiz. Okay.
By who?
Stiz, I'm going to tell you this, and then I'm going to say goodbye, and you're going to go and listen to it immediately.
Yeah.
Yesterday was Chris Cornell's, what would have been his 56th birthday.
Yeah.
So his family released a cover of Chris Cornell covering Guns N' Roses' Patience. And it is flawless.
Really?
So
I love Patience. One of the first songs that I learned how to play on guitar was Patience.
Then I am going to say goodnight to you now. And you...
Let me tell a quick story. The last time we were in LA, Carrie and I went to, what was it? It was the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And it's where all the big stars are buried. I mean, everyone was there. Who was the lady who played from The Wizard of Oz that we saw? Judy Garland.
We went to Judy Garland's gravesite. We went to Mel Blanc, who did all the voices for all the Looney Tunes. Toto from The Wizard of Oz is buried there.
And after searching for a little bit, Carrie found Chris Cornell and had a moment. And
I did have a moment.
One of the beautiful things that I saw. It was really cool.
I was so heartbroken. Like Lane Staley was kind of a recluse from Alice in Chains, and he was kind of quiet for a long time. It wasn't unexpected that he passed away. Scott Weiland had been kind of famously being challenged with his addictions. Chris Cornell really seemed like he had found a way to be able to handle his depression and his addiction, and just he seemed like someone that was finally kind of comfortable in his own skin. And he had come up on the show several times. We had spent a lot of time together. Some of my old interviews with him are just, especially one time he came up with his wife, Vicky, and was talking about how happy he was with her and what it was like to go through all of the depression challenges and what a light she had been for him.
How was she? She was cool?
She was great. She was so gracious. I mean, I learned a long time ago that you always make friends with the wives. You always make friends with the girlfriends because...
Of course.
You're just always nice to everybody. And I did not expect to lose him. Like, the world needs Chris Cornell. We need his voice. We need his music. And this version of Guns N' Roses Patience is, it is heartbreaking to listen to, and they released it on his birthday, and it's super powerful. So you got to go and listen to it.
I will go check that out right now.
Yeah, go Google it, Stiz. Thank you for coming in the War Room.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. I appreciate it.
Hit him up online at Stiz Grimey. Will you come on every now and again and just come hang out with us in the War Room? Because everybody loves having you here.
I would love to. I love you guys. I love you, MC, and I'll see you very soon.
Bye, Stiz. We'll see you later. Oh, I love it when Stiz hangs out with us. I hope that you guys like it when he's here, because he's like my little brother. I love hanging out with him. So if you missed Stiz, you can watch the video up afterwards, or we'll put the interview up as an after action report up on the podcast. We talked about all of the podcast outlets. So once again, let's run through those before we announce who's going to be on this week. Apple, Google, Spotify, radio.com, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Deezer, Overcast, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pocket Cast. And last week we got official word that Pandora had also picked up the Mistress Carrie podcast. And I also said that I had a new count. It is now 77 countries. And we want to welcome whoever is listening to the Mistress Carrie podcast in the Kingdom of Thailand. So welcome. Welcome to the War Room family. Welcome to the podcast. 77 countries and growing. The Mistress Carrie podcast. It's growing every week, and you guys are amazing. I know that you guys are emailing your friends, posting the links to the episodes, and really helping to get the word out. So I really appreciate that, and I can't wait until all of the map is colored in some shade of blue. So really excited that we're up to 77 countries now. Let's talk about some of the headlines going on in music. We talked to Mark LaBelle from Dirty Honey last week. They've got the Lockdown Live at the Viper Room that's coming up July 24th. You can get the online tickets. It's only $9.95, and it's going to help an amazing unsigned band. Go to dirtyhoney.veeps.com if you want to watch that. The Chris Cornell Patience cover was released on his birthday yesterday, which is just fantastic. Tomorrow night, the Fenway Sessions are going to be streaming at 7:05, which is the normal, sorry, I'm touching my face, the normal start time for Red Sox games. The Fenway Sessions are going to feature the Foo Fighters, New Kids, Jimmy Buffett, and more. So that's at 7:05 tomorrow. Steel Panthers Rock Down in the Lockdown is coming up on August 16th. You can go to steelpantherrocks.com for the details on that. Bret Michaels, The Music Man, the filming of that movie starts this fall. And the auto scrapography book you can get at shopbretmichaels.com, which is a scrapbook of his life. And then Metallica announced that S&M 2 that they recorded last year in San Francisco with the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra is being released on August 28th, and you can pre-order that now. Let's go to the mail call, shall we? Because I got some awesome stuff. I went and got the mail this morning at the post office, got this letter that says, "Hey, Carrie and Wednesday, greetings again from LA. A souvenir for the quarantine. Why not? I got one of these myself too. And I thought you would appreciate Dr. Fauci, thinking he would be a good addition to the War Room or MCHQ. Thanks for keeping me sane and connected to home during a global pandemic. Cheers, Christy." And she got me the official Dr. Fauci bobblehead doll, which is so freaking awesome. I got to open the box. I didn't open it because I wanted to do it with you guys. Face Police, says Joe. I know. Maybe it's LB. He talked about his 6-on-1 in Thailand. Yeah, maybe that's, I don't know. But somebody is listening to the podcast in Thailand. That's all I know. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. The Dr. Fauci bobblehead doll. Hold on. Full Fauci. We just went full Fauci here in the War Room. This is unbelievable. It's totally going down in MCHQ. It's totally happening. This is unbelievable. She also sent Wednesday some treats as well. So thank you very much, Christy. I really appreciate you thinking of me and being willing to go out and go to the post office in the middle of a global pandemic to send me a Dr. Fauci bobblehead doll. It made my freaking day. It's hilarious. All right. Then you guys saw earlier the yellow oh, here it is right here. So Wednesday got this in the mail as well. It's like a duck platypus kind of thing. It came in a package that came with these cards as well. And there's some stuff addressed to you guys in here as well. So the letter says, "Mistress Carrie, I saw this and thought of you. I knew you would love it and can use it. Think of your new friends and crew and the family every time you use it. To Wednesday, the awesome goth pug. We hope you like your new toy. We love you. Be good to your mommy. She is the best and she loves you so much. Seeing you on the Pug Cam is awesome. Keith and Michelle Thornton." So they sent me this amazing package of stuff. They also said, "My father-in-law is in bed at 7:30 every night. Otherwise, he would watch you with the rest of us. Sent you an extra gift to work on when it's raining out or over the winter." So they sent me a few different things. One, they sent me some of these adult coloring books, which are hilarious because I've kind of gotten into them because you guys have sent me some. So these have like regular things to like color and draw on, but this one is unbelievable. Just Add Ink, their actual tattoo artwork that you color with colored pencils, which I thought was really, really cool. I mean, I'm going to need some cocktails. Look at it. Can you imagine my patience level trying to color in these things? If you hear me screaming, what the fuck, wherever you live, it's because I'm trying to color that in. But it's awesome. It's called Just Add Ink, the adult tattoo coloring book, which is awesome. So thank you so much for that. Then we got some cards that says, Simply Grateful. Mistress Carrie and the OG War Room crew, Keith and I wanted to say thank you for sending my dad and father-in-law's birthday cards. It has put a big smile on his face. The first time he opened the cards and read what was said to him, he cried. He's never thought that there were that many people out there that cared. You all made his day. Mistress Carrie, we want to extend our thanks for helping us make his birthday so special, and thanks for sending him the card from you. That was really nice. And I wanted to share this with you, that this is the card that I got. It says, thanks for putting a smiley on my face. You're the best. And it says, from Clarence Thornton, who is the 99-year-old World War II veteran we've been talking about in the War Room and sending birthday cards to. So he really appreciates all the cards that you guys have sent, and it really did make his day and made his birthday super special. And that's why you guys are amazing. And then they sent one more thing, which I'm going to wear skydiving. It's a mask, and it's fucking Beaker. It's Beaker. How awesome is this? Oh my God. I can't wait to wear this to the supermarket. Oh my God. I'm totally wearing it skydiving too. This thing is unbelievable. Look at this thing. How awesome is this? Oh God, I love the Muppets. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you guys so much for all of your thoughtful gifts. It's just amazing. So awesome. All right, I got a bunch of other stuff I want to run through before we talk about the podcast this week. I want to let you guys know, speaking of podcasts, that I talked to Mike Shue and Isaiah and Josh on the recent episode of Breaking the Ice, which is their radio rehab podcast. So that was all of us hanging out. So you can subscribe to the Breaking the Ice podcast, and you can check out the recent interview that I did with Shue and Isaiah and Josh, and kind of put a lot of the AAF family back together. And then also, coming up this Thursday, the 200th episode of Oscar Mike Radio, that podcast is being released. And I am honored that Travis had me on the Oscar Mike podcast once again. This is my third appearance on the podcast, commemorating his 200th episode. So you can subscribe to the Oscar Mike podcast, and I'm going to be the guest coming up in a couple days and celebrating his 200th episode, which I'm super honored and excited to do. So if you are celebrating a birthday today, Cat Stevens and Jim Martin from Faith No More celebrate their birthday with you today. And we were talking about it earlier. Chris Cornell's 56th birthday was yesterday. And that is why the family chose yesterday to release their cover, or his cover, of Guns N' Roses' Patience. Yesterday was also the third anniversary of the passing of Chester Bennington, which, of course, he died by suicide on Chris Cornell's birthday after Chris Cornell died by suicide. And I can't believe it's been 3 years for Chester Bennington. It's just crazy to me that it's been that long. But seriously, go and listen to that Chris Cornell version of Patience. It is just heartbreaking and just really powerful and emotional. And I think you guys are going to love. You know how much I love cover songs anyway, but I think you guys are going to love this episode. All right, let's talk about the podcast this week. We know that new episodes of the Mistress Carrie Podcast go live every Wednesday. This is the new episode, and I am super happy to say that episode number 7 is going to feature Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills, who has become a recent friend over the last couple of years. WAF was doing a lot of great stuff, a lot of fun stuff with Ice Nine Kills. We sent some winners out to the Stanley Hotel, the inspiration behind The Shining, to go to the acoustic performance that Ice Nine Kills did out there. And they actually recorded an EP an acoustic EP out there, and we talk a lot about that in the episode. We talk about Halloween stuff. Spencer and I had a great conversation about a lot of great stuff, and he's just an awesome guy. We talked about Nick's roast beef, talked about North Shore beefs. He is holed up and locked down in Los Angeles right now, so we kind of talked about what it's like to be a transplanted masshole out on the West Coast and locked down during a global pandemic. So if you have not subscribed to the Mistress Carrie podcast, you can get it in any of these places that we already talked about. And it's being listened to in all of these locations around the world. But this week on the podcast, Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills is going to be my guest. And the next few episodes are great. I'm super excited about all of the musicians that have wanted to be part of the podcast, that have wanted to be in the war room. And there is just a lot of great stuff. Amanda says, never heard of that band. Have to check them out. Amanda, their last album is called The Silver Scream, and every song was inspired by a different horror movie. They are from Massachusetts, based out of Salem. And if you are into kind of horror movies, if you're into slasher films and all of that kind of stuff, you are going to love Ice Nine Kills. They're one of the bands that makes the best merch. Remember a couple weeks ago, I was talking about Daryl McDaniels and Run DMC and how they were one of the artists that really paved the way, along with Kiss and the Beatles, and just paving the way for amazing merchandise coming from bands. Well, the guys from Ice Nine Kills have really done an amazing job. They got banned from Disney World because they are so ingrained with kind of horror movies and horror movie visuals and all of that. So they came out with a whole custom line of Ice Nine Kills merchandise with Disney characters on them, which are just freaking brilliant. So if you guys have not heard Ice Nine Kills, when you download this week's episode, which goes live at midnight tonight, every episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast comes with a corresponding playlist that is linked in the description of the podcast. And I try to come up with song lists that are not only going to turn you guys on to maybe some new music that you've never heard of before, but also all of the artists and the music that we talk about in the episodes, to make it super easy for you if you're driving, listening to the podcast in the car, and you're like, wait, what is that band? I never heard of them before. There are Spotify playlists that are made for every episode of the podcast. And all of the music, I pick it for you so that you get an idea of not only the artist that I'm talking to, but in a case like episode 4 with John Hill, they were all songs that we talked about that reminded him of his deployments, and also music that was inspired by and in tribute to our service members overseas. So you got to check out all of the custom playlists that I'm making for every episode as well. They did a video at the Haunted Overload, I believe. That place rules. We talked a lot about haunted stuff in Massachusetts, and we had a great conversation. Spencer's awesome. He is such a lover of horror films and slasher movies, kind of like Corey Taylor from Stone Sour and Slipknot as well. They just, even the cheesy ones, and we talked about some of the cheesy ones as well. So I think you guys are really going to love this episode of the podcast. So that is coming up at midnight tonight. So there you go. You can find me on social and get all of the details on everything you need to know. Find me on Twitter, at Mistress Carrie, on YouTube at Mistress Carrie WAF right here on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. It's at Mistress Carrie, even though I don't have any TikTok videos up there yet. However, my new favorite TikTok videos are the ones where they have Siri voicing the dog shaming videos. I cannot contain my laughter at some of these dog shaming videos about the crazy things that people's dogs are doing. One of them, a dog pooped in the house, and the iRobot little motorized vacuum cleaner picked up the poop and literally smeared it all around the house. These TikTok videos are unbelievable. But I think there's a TikTok video in my future. And then also, I announced it a couple weeks ago that I am now on Cameo. So if you are looking for a birthday gift for that person that has everything, or you want to make some kind of announcement, you want to tell your boss you quit, you want to let your wife know you bought a Harley and you weren't supposed to, You want to tell your parents that they are finally going to become grandparents. You want to wish somebody happy birthday or a happy retirement from the military or thank somebody for their service, whatever it is. I said all of that in one breath. Go to my Cameo and I will custom make these videos for you. So I got to thank everybody that's already ordered Cameo videos. And they're a lot of fun to do. I love doing them. So if you don't have Cameo yet, go on there. There's all kinds of musicians and comedians and actors that are willing to make custom videos for you. And I love doing them. I think it's really fun. And what better person to break bad news to someone or good news? Like say you have a badass girl and you want to ask her to marry you. Like I could do that on Cameo for you. So you can go on Cameo. It's at Mistress Carrie on Cameo, at Mistress Carrie on Cameo as well. And there's some big announcements coming in the next few weeks about some other stuff that I got going on as well. So we are going to be very, very busy. Ed wants to know, are you on iTunes? I'm on Apple Podcasts. So if you have an iPhone, you can just go to Apple Podcasts and search for the Mistress Carrie Podcast. And you can subscribe right there. Or eat a bag of dicks. Renee says, yeah, I will eat a bag of dicks on Cameo if that's what you want me to do in my video. Danielle says, you made one for me, for my son. He started to cry and told everyone that he knows a celebrity now. Fucking A right, he does. Absolutely, Nick. Nick is the one that bought this amazing monkey for Wednesday that she plays with all the time. By the way, she's in the other room taking a nap. I would rather see you do a breakup. That would be hilarious, says Josh. I would do that too if you want me to. If that's what it's come to. Could you be the MC for a bodybuilding show I'm promoting, says Tiffany. I can do stuff like that for sure. One of the things that I started my company for is to finally be able to go out and be able to host events and do guest speaking and a lot of the other things I didn't have a lot of time to do before when I was on the air at WAAF. But obviously now that this is my new career moving forward, depending on schedules and all of that, and obviously if and when events are ever allowed to happen live again, that yes, I can be available to host events and all of that. F-bomb, says Keith, I know. How is your bag of dicks supply? Betty wants to know. Right now I'm good with the bag of dicks. I am good. Nick is going to join us Saturday night in the Cocktails in the War Room family group. He is a sweetie, says Brianna. We talked extensively in the Oscar Mike radio podcast, that episode that comes out on Thursday, episode 200. Travis, who hosts the podcast, we talked a lot about the War Room family and talked about the early stages of Cocktails in the War Room and a lot of great stuff. And I think you're going to really enjoy that episode of his podcast. So definitely check it out. He's doing some amazing stuff and he's a great guy. And so I want you to support his podcast as well. And also the Breaking the Ice podcast, which is this one. Sorry, everything's backwards. But this is the one with Mike Shue and Isaiah and Josh. And then this is Travis's podcast as well. So thank you guys for hanging out in the War Room with me. We are going to have a new episode number 7 of the Mistress Carrie Podcast coming up at midnight tonight, featuring Spencer Charnas from Ice 9 Kills. New episodes every Wednesday. If you missed Stiz Grimey, his interview will be up as an after action report tomorrow. And as always, the War Room videos are posted up on Facebook and on my YouTube channel, so you can check them out whenever. Wednesday, come and say goodnight to everybody. Come here. Wednesday, come here. Come over here. Come here. Wednesday. Hey. Hey. Come here. Come here. Hey. Come here. Come over here. Let me turn the Pug Cam on for you. Come on. Wednesday, I was just getting ready to say goodnight. Come here. Wednesday. Come here. She's being babysat by Grammy, and Grammy's giving her snacks that she's not supposed to have. And now she doesn't want to come and hang out on the Pug Cam because Grammy is spoiling her. Wednesday, come here. Do you want to come and say goodnight to everybody? I got the Pug Cam on with your new toys. She ain't coming back. You're not coming back. Spoiled brat. All right. Thank you guys for checking out another episode of Cocktails in the War Room. I want to thank Latini Creative Solutions for sponsoring this week's War Room and also this week's episode of the podcast, and also Jumptown Skydiving. You can find them at jumptown.com and latinicreative.com if you are looking to get your business's websites and social media pages and all of the artwork to look fantastic. Or if you want to just go and throw yourself out of a perfectly good airplane, go and do it at Jumptown. Good night, everybody. I will see you guys next week. New episode coming up at midnight tonight. Subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. And thanks to Stiz Grimey for hanging out with us tonight.